with increasing reports of violent acts against students and ongoing policy decisions in the ministry. As students, we're not at a crossroads, where we must either sit back and accept the current education system, or we're going to stand up and work towards a better one. I, for one, am not a fan of sitting back, which is why I intend to stand up, and I'm imploring you all to stand with me as we work towards getting a better education system. Good day. My name is Ewan Burey, a Law 6 student who attends the Wolmer's Boys School and is vying to be your next NSSC president. I stand before you humbly today with a vision that will one day see all students being properly represented, as well as having all secondary students receiving quality education, as promised to us by this Ministry of Education. In order to do so, I have derived an acronym which shall be enshrined in the NSSC going forward to ensure that we have met our aforementioned objectives. This acronym is STRIVE: strategy, teamwork, reliability, intellect, vision, and efficiency. Now let me ask you, will you strive to make a difference? We shall be addressing issues with our current education system, such as the lack of a technology in education policy, unsupervised suspensions which are used as a first resort. We shall also be organizing an all-island recycling competition, as well as putting measures in place to ensure that all students of Jamaica are receiving proper representation as we strive to make a difference for all our Jamaican students. Currently, there isn't a technology in education policy implemented by the ministry, and as such, schools are mandated rather to create their own technology in education policy. But in this era where technology is essential, it is time that we integrate the use of technology into our school systems. Through this, we will be able to promote multifaceted education so that our students will be taught how to analyze information rather than just to SWOT it. Because with the use of this technology, they will be getting the information through various perspectives. The NSSC shall be lobbying the Ministry of Education to be developing a properly regulated policy as we make steps towards quality education and strive to make a difference. When a student is suspended, what method of rehabilitation is done for this student so that he does not commit the offense again? What alternatives to suspensions are used by our schools? We need to start having supervised suspensions so that we can socialize our students to not commit these offenses again. This is why the NSSC will be creating a framework which will have alternatives to unsupervised suspensions. This framework will be rehabilitative in nature and shall take into consideration things such as restorative justice, community service, counseling, and drug rehabilitation, as we strive to make a difference for all the secondary students of Jamaica. The NSSC will also be attentive to the environment. This is why we will be hosting an all-island recycling competition. This will be geared towards promoting a healthy environment in schools and have students play their part in the mitigation and adaptation to climate change. The top 3 schools from this competition will be receiving incentives, so look out for it as we strive to make a cleaner environment. Steps will also be made to improve the representation of all students across the island, as the NSSC will be working assiduously to ensure that all student council elections are held by the end of October. We will also be reviewing the constitution of the NSSC to ensure that it is more relevant and gives clearer guidelines to various things. All student council presidents will receive proper boardroom training. This will be done so that these presidents are able to sit efficiently on their school boards, as well as know how to apply information so that all students in their institution can be properly represented. We will also be increasing the amount of students who are represented by forming student councils in schools which don't already have councils. And we shall also be strengthening weaker and inactive councils so that they can have a stronger body and represent their students better. To that end, we can have proper representation for all secondary students across the island as we strive to make a difference. Now let me ask you, will you sit back and accept everything that is going on around you, or will you stand up and make a difference? If you want to stand up, then let's join hands as we strive for a better NSSC, a better education system, and a better Jamaica. I thank you. The NSSC offers values to our secondary students because the NSSC is the organization which amplifies the voices of our students to various government organizations, and we also lead discussions as it relates to policy for our students so that we'll constantly be striving to have a better education system. Something that the NSSC can improve on is ensuring that all students of Jamaica know their rights. And I believe a way in which we can improve on this is by having a rights campaign being implemented through all our local councils. So this way, our local councils will be spreading the message to all the students of their respective institutions, as well as spreading the message of the NSSC. In order to decrease the amount of violent acts being committed against students, something that the NSSC can look into is to informing students about safe practices in which they can take when they're taking their routes home, as well as teaching them safety measures and self-defense measures. Another thing in which we can do is have those local security forces such as the JDF and the JCF be closer to schools so that they can be monitoring these areas to ensure that they're